The dimensional rift tasted like copper and burning ozone. Miguel O'Hara tumbled through kaleidoscope fractals of dying realities, his Spider-Man suit's holographic interface fritzing as quantum foam dissolved stable physics around him. Alchemax's experimental platform had catastrophically failed or succeeded, depending on how you measured escaping a corporate dictatorship that owned your DNA. Either way, gravity reasserted itself with violence. He punched through a billboard first. Impact spider webbed the digital screen, talons shredding an advertisement for Turbo Rush Energy. Fuel your hero within. Then he was falling through smoke that smelled wrong. Not chemical burn, but meat smoke, the kind from people. Miguel's enhanced vision kicked in before he hit the fire escape, processing 43 frames per second. He caught himself on corroded metal, talons punching through rust, and looked up at a city simultaneously familiar and alien. New York, but not his New York. Architecture decades out of date, advertisements primitive, sky actually blue. For one stupid moment, he thought he'd escaped backward before corporate consolidation. Then he heard the voice. Another flawless rescue by Homelander and the Seven, approximately 43 civilians saved from what authorities are calling a terrorist attack. The broadcast blared across the street. Miguel's head snapped toward a man in an American flag cape hovering above burning wreckage. The hero's smile was camera perfect, radiating exactly the calculated confidence Alchemax's PR department programmed into corporate spokespeople. Miguel had seen that smile on billboards selling retirement plans, on executives explaining why his brother's neighborhood got rezoned for urban development, on his own face back when he'd believed working for monsters made you less monstrous. Homelander personally pulled 17 people from the blaze, though structural damage resulted in $40 million in property losses. Vought International stock rose 3 points. Miguel's stomach dropped. The reporter wasn't questioning why a terrorist attack looked like aftermath of someone with super strength punching through load-bearing walls. Wasn't asking why the hero arrived after the building started burning. The coverage wasn't news, it was product launch. Alchemax had pioneered this. Shocking, Miguel muttered, pulling onto the fire escape. I'm still in hell. Different zip code. Below, genuine panic. People ran with jerky movements of civilians who'd never evacuated before, who thought hero meant preventing disasters instead of posing after. His enhanced hearing caught EMT chatter. 7 got here first. We wait for clearance. Protocols say. Always protocol when corporations wrote emergency procedures. Miguel climbed higher, needing vantage, reached the roof in 4 seconds and got a proper look at this world's New York. Cleaner than Nueva York. No smog ceiling, no industrial fog, no corporate war, burnout. But something was wrong with the wrongness. Advertisements everywhere, buildings, buses, benches, ambulances, same 7 faces. The broadcast hero, Homelander, on 40% of them, selling phones, burgers, streaming services. His face was a brand. His brand was everywhere. Miguel's jaw clenched. Alchemax owned Nueva York through economic leverage. Here, someone had figured out something more insidious. Make servitude aspirational. Make corporate control feel like heroism. Wrap fascism in a flag and sell merchandise. His suit cycled through local broadcasts. News, all controlled. Every station running the same script. Homelander saves the day. The 7 protect America. Vought International keeps you safe. Trust the heroes. Buy the merchandise. Hey, you're not supposed to be up here. Miguel spun. Security guard in doorway, hand on a pistol. Uniform had a stylized V trying too hard to seem patriotic. Miguel's hearing caught the dispatcher. All units, Vought Tower reports unregistered soup, rooftop of... Unregistered soup. Powers were registered here, tracked, owned by whoever maintained the registry. Same company from the broadcast. Same company on 40% of ads. Same company whose hero smiled at burning civilians while rescuers waited for clearance. Alchemax with better PR. I'm leaving, Miguel said, backing toward the edge. Don't move. Vought security is en route. Miguel jumped backward, fired organic webbing, no mechanical shooters to break, just genetically altered biology. The web line caught a water tower 3 buildings over. He swung into the canyon of advertisements and false heroism. Behind him, unregistered soupe heading northeast. Visual confirms, spider motif, repeat, spider-themed soupe without Vought clearance. Spider-themed. Because of course this world already had a spider hero. Probably sold breakfast cereal. Miguel hit an office building, talons punching concrete. Looked back at the burning building where Homelander saved 17 while 40 million burned. Smoke rose in a column visible for miles. Every camera captured the hero's perfect smile. Nueva York taught Miguel corporate control could be absolute. This world taught him it could also be beloved. His suit showed a map with no recognized markers in a dimension he didn't understand. Below, sirens changed pitch, not converging on the fire, but on him. They were coming, the heroes, the registered soupiers, corporate enforcement in capes. Miguel O'Hara had spent 10 years fighting Alchemax's monopoly. Bled for it, killed for it, lost everything. He'd just crashed into a world where the monopoly had already won so completely, people thanked their oppressors and bought merchandise. His talons dug deeper. Eyes tracked approaching signatures, 2 heat sources moving faster than civilian vehicles, vectoring on him with tactical precision. Fine, Miguel said to the corporate dystopia that smelled like hot dogs and victory. Let's see how your heroes handle someone who doesn't need permission to exist. The first hero hit him doing Mach 1. Miguel's enhanced vision caught the approach. Blue and red blur screaming between skyscrapers, sonic boom shattering windows. A-Train, his suit's database pulled local feeds, matching the runner to Vought marketing. Fastest man alive, trademarked in 17 countries. The speedster slammed into him like corporate-sponsored freight train. They went through a ventilation unit together. Miguel's talons found A-Train's Kevlar uniform, twisted mid-impact using momentum against him, separated in sparks and torn steel. Miguel cracked an AC housing. A train skidded 70 feet. Stand down! A train bounced, hands up, eyes calculating. Vought security wants you peaceful. Don't make this difficult. Miguel stood slowly. 76% integrity. Ribs wrong, but healing. Peaceful. That what you call supersonic impacts? That was me pulling my punch. Camera-ready grin. You cooperate, maybe they go easy. Register proper, get on a team. Merchandising deal. Action figures by Q4. Miguel's hearing caught the second approach. Wet air displacement. He dodged as the deep crashed down in stolen hydrant water. I had him. The deep pointed theatrically. A-Train, I called dibs. You are 3 blocks behind, fish stick. Miguel webbed them both. Organic silk shot from his wrists in crossing patterns, yanking them together hard enough to crack ribs. A-Train speed useless with bound legs. deep's water-breathing irrelevant on dry concrete. Merchandising deal, Miguel muttered, moving. You sold out so completely you don't recognize the pitch anymore. A train thrashed uselessly. Do you know who we are? We're the Seven. We're spokesmodels with powers. Miguel fired another web line. I've seen your type. Different continent, same corporate boot. 3 buildings away when his warning system screamed. Incoming projectile, velocity wrong for ballistics. He twisted as something silver-blue shot past. Corrected course. Came back. Homelander hung in air 40 feet away, arms crossed, cape rippling in non-existent wind, hair sprayed. Suit spotless despite rescuing people from fire an hour ago. Smile lines not reaching eyes. Every Alchemax board member Miguel wanted to punch, wrapped in a flag. That's just rude, Homelander said, manufactured warmth carrying. A train and deep extended reasonable invitation. Registration's easy, 15 minutes, blood work, NDAs. Camera ready by tonight. Eyes narrowed. Mask slipped. Something cold looked out. Nobody owns this city but Vought. Vought owns me, which means I own you. Miguel's talons extended. Suit flagging Homelander, heat signature off charts, impossible musculature, eyes emitting radiation, laser vision. I don't register, Miguel said. Don't sign contracts, and I don't smile for cameras while buildings burn and rescue workers wait for clearance. Homelander's smile froze. Confusion, rage. Then PR training screamed the mask back. I saved 17 people. 17 grateful Americans alive because I was there. What have you done except assault my teammates? Your teammate hit me at Mach 1. I webbed him. Self-defense with style. Miguel catalogued weaknesses. Homelander was strong, durable, could fly and shoot lasers, but moved like someone who'd never fought. Just choreographed media events. Every gesture camera aware. Not a soldier, a performer who forgot the difference. Those 17 people, how many died waiting? How many burned while you posed? The mask shattered. Homelander's eyes flared incandescent red. Face twisted into pure narcissistic fury. You don't get to judge me. I'm Homelander. I'm the Seven. Miguel jumped toward him. Genius-level intellect, calculated angles. Homelander expected fool. Compliance. Worship. Not someone who'd learned gods bleed if you hit them right. Miguel's talons raked across Homelander's face. Not deep, but enough to scratch. Enough to draw blood. Enough to prove the golden boy could bleed. Homelander screamed. Not pain. Outrage. Someone whose perfect image just cracked on every camera drone in range. Laser vision fired wild, cutting through water tower, through billboard, through his own face on said billboard. Liquid cascaded as Homelander's boot hit Miguel's ribs with steel-cracking force. Miguel flew backward, hit satellite array, kept conscious through spite. 70% integrity. 3 ribs cracked, internal bleeding, accelerated healing working. Homelander coming back, eyes blazing, all heroism abandoned for violent ego. This was the real superhero. Not billboards, not saving people for cameras. This was infinite power surrounded by worshippers. A god who couldn't handle being scratched. Miguel's webbing caught Homelander's cape, that stupid camera-friendly cape, and yanked. Hero stumbled mid-flight, aerodynamics ruined. Miguel was moving. Web swing between buildings, drop into alley. Stealth protocols engaged, holographic camouflage bending light as he pressed against brick. Above, Homelander's voice echoed. I can hear your heartbeat. I can smell your blood, you can't. Miguel's suit cut audio. dampened heartbeat with counter-frequency, activated every Alchemax counter-surveillance tech. In Nueva York, you learned to disappear. Communicator crackled with intercepted Vought channels. All units, Homelander is code red. Repeat code red, emotional state. Clear airspace, get PR on damage control. Damage control, not stop dangerous super. Not protect civilians. Damage control. Protect the brand, the image. Quarterly earnings. Miguel smiled in the dark alley, tasting blood, feeling ribs knit, understanding exactly what war he'd started. The safe house smelled like piss and resignation. Miguel crouched on a fire escape in Red Hook, watching police drones sweep search patterns 3 blocks over, his suit's camouflage rendering him invisible to everything except thermal imaging. His ribs had finished knitting. Accelerated healing was one thing Alchemax got right. His suit's scanner picked up the approach. Old diesel engine, pre-2020 model, burning oil. The van rolled to a stop below. Paneling rusted, side door held shut with duct tape. The driver stepped out wearing a black coat that had seen better decades, boots that squeaked, expression suggesting he'd watched someone kick his dog and was calculating if murder was worth prison time. Oi! The man looked directly at Miguel's position despite active camouflage. Spider wanker in the cloaking tech. I can see heat distortion. Either come down and talk or piss off so I can get back to planning how to shove nerve agent up Homelander's arse. Miguel's threat assessment spiked. The man shouldn't see him. Enhanced vision, surgical scarring around orbital bones. Someone paid for augmentation to track enhanced individuals, and he'd casually mentioned nerve-gassing Homelander. Miguel dropped from the fire escape, landing silently. Camouflage disengaged. 30 seconds before I web you to that dumpster. Butcher. The man extended his hand. William Butcher, professional soup killer, part-time alcoholic, full-time pain in Vought's arse. You're the spider-themed prick who made Homelander bleed on 17 cameras, which makes you either the bravest stupid bastard I've met or the stupidest brave bastard. Miguel didn't take the hand. How did you find me? Followed property damage. You swing like drunk Spider-Man, leave webbing everywhere. Plus, I've tracked enhanced individuals in this city for 5 years. New soup shows up, doesn't register, pisses off the 7, doesn't grovel for vote. That's interesting. Not as soupy. Miguel's talons extended. Not interested in your vendetta. Not a super. Right. Butcher's eyes tracked the talons. I don't care if you got powers from a lab, a god, or radioactive wank. What I care about is you scratched Homelander and lived. Know how many people can say that? 3. 2 are dead. I'm the 3rd. I cheated using nerve gas. Miguel's mind cataloged the name. Compound V, his suit had picked up references in Vought files. Chemical formula, genetic modification catalyst. Someone was manufacturing superheroes. Alchemax had tried that. Miguel had seen the corpses. 15 seconds left, Miguel said. Vought International owns this city, owns the heroes, owns the narrative, owns the government. Butcher's voice dropped. They dose babies with compound fee, create soupers, then discover them later for PR. Stage rescues, fabricate threats. Last month, a super killed her landlord during sex, crushed his skull, and Vought paid off the coroner, police, and family. Disappeared by Tuesday. Miguel's hearing caught movement in the van. Multiple heartbeats. At least 3 people, armed, nervous. This wasn't recruitment. Intervention with weapons in reserve. Why tell me? Because you're not from here. Your tech's wrong, your costume's wrong. You fight like someone trained for actual combat, not media choreography. And when Homelander offered you the Vought package, you told him to fuck himself, which means you've dealt with corporate fascism before. Miguel said nothing. Butcher read as authentic, too rough for corporate, too damaged for acting. The van's door slid open. A black man stepped out wearing maintained tactical gear, carrying himself with military posture. Eyes swept the alley before settling on Miguel. "Butcher," the man said, voice carrying command authority. "Maybe lead with 'We're not Vought' instead of monologues about nerve-gassing America's favorite hero." "Where's the fun, MM?" Butcher grinned wrong. "Spider-Boy already figured we're not corporate. Nobody from Vought drives vans held together with duct tape." Mem approached slowly, hands visible, movements non-threatening. "Marvin. People call me MM. Butcher's right about one thing. Vaught's got this city locked, but he's wrong about why we're here. We're not recruiting, we're warning." Miguel's talons retracted. "Warn faster. You scratched Homelander on camera, made him bleed, made him look weak." MM pulled out a tablet, swiped through images, bodies, lots of bodies, dismemberment, laser burn patterns, impact trauma. This was a blogger who posted deepfakes. This was a soupe who got more camera time. This was a kid who threw a rock, bounced off, but the kid laughed. The kid's photo showed maybe 12. The after photo showed dental records were involved. Homelander's a narcissistic psychopath with godlike powers and zero accountability, MM continued, voice flat. Vought keeps him leashed with public approval and contracts, but that leash is fraying. When it snaps, people die. Miguel studied the images, cross-referencing with Nueva York's patterns. Alchemax disappeared dissenters quietly. Vaught's hero did it loud and called it collateral. "So what? You want me to leave? Find another dimension where heroes aren't branded psychopaths." "We want you to help us kill him," Butcher said simply. The alley went silent. MM's expression suggested Butcher deviated from script. The van's heartbeat spiked. "Butcher," MM started. "Fuck the approved messaging." Butcher stepped closer. Miguel smelled alcohol, rage, someone who'd lost everything and decided revenge was close enough to purpose. "Truth? Homelander killed my wife, lasered her into paste. Vought paid me off. $2 million and an NDA. I took the money, wiped my ass with the NDA, and spent 5 years learning how to hurt gods." Miguel's vision caught micro-expressions. Truth, all truth. This was a man who'd stared into the abyss and decided to stare back with explosives. "And you think I'll help you commit suicide by Homelander because you already did?" Butcher showed footage. Miguel's fight with Homelander, 17 angles, trending. Who is Spider-Man? Homelander bleeds. Vought cover-up. Comments were vicious, hopeful, terrified. People questioning heroes for the first time. You cracked the image. Showed the world their god bleeds. Now Vaught's scrambling, Homelander's spiraling, and you've got maybe 48 hours before he stops caring about public perception and starts making examples. Miguel watched the loop, watched his talons rake, watched the blood, watched the mask shatter. He understood exactly what he'd done. In Nueva York, exposing corruption meant hacking files. Here, he'd committed violence against the brand itself. 48 hours, Miguel repeated. Give or take, Vought PR's spin in it. Homelander shows mercy, unprovoked attack. But social media moves faster than corporate narrative. People are asking questions. When people ask questions about Homelander, people die. Miguel looked at MM, who nodded grimly. Looked at the van where frightened people held weapons they probably couldn't use. Looked at Butcher, who turned grief into a weapon aimed at gods. "I don't kill," Miguel said. "Neither did I. Then I met Homelander." Butcher extended his hand again. "Help us or don't, but if you're staying, you're in the fight. Vought doesn't do neutral. Homelander doesn't do mercy." Miguel stared at the hand. In Nueva York, he'd fought Alchemax alone. Here, he was dimensionally displaced, facing corporate fascism with better PR and a psychopath who could level buildings. Butcher was damaged, dangerous, probably one bad day from breakdown. MM was competent but exhausted. The van held terrified amateurs. This wasn't elite strike team. This was trauma survivors with anger issues and improvised explosives. It was also the only offer he'd get. Miguel took Butcher's hand. "I don't kill, but I'll help expose them. Show the world what Vought really is, what Homelander really is. Make the truth louder than their PR." Butcher's grin was knife-sharp and humorless. "Welcome to the boys, Spider Wanker. Try not to die in the first week." Vought Tower's server room existed in negative space on official blueprints. Miguel crouched in the ventilation shaft 3 floors above, his suit's sensors mapping electromagnetic signatures, screaming classified infrastructure. MM's intel had been surgical, outdated rotations but accurate structural data. "Comms check," MM's voice crackled. "You're approaching Junction 7, left duct in 30 feet. Miguel's enhanced vision found it first. "I see it. Window? Shift change in 11 minutes. You've got 8 to hack their server, download everything, and exit before facial recognition tags you." No pressure. Miguel's talons punctured ventilation metal, peeling back the panel. 40-foot drop into server humidity and diagnostic lights. He released, free-falling silently, webbing catching the duct. Insurance against noise. His feet touched tile without sound. Servers hummed with electric paranoia. Row after row of black monoliths containing enough data to bury governments. Miguel deployed hacking probes. Alchemax tech, technically stolen. The interface crackled to life and stopped. "Problem," Miguel said. "Their security's military grade, possibly black budget. Designed to resist enhanced individuals. Biometric locks keyed to specific genetic markers. They're expecting soup infiltration." "Can you crack it?" MM asked. "This isn't Alchemax. This is older. Encryption predates modern computing." Miguel's mind raced. Whoever designed this was paranoid about superhuman threats before superhumans were publicly known. "Compound V's been around since World War II, Butcher said. "They've had 80 years to build walls." Miguel's fingers moved faster, parsing code patterns, finding rhythms. Everything had rhythm. Everything revealed creator fingerprints. "I'm through. Accessing personnel file." Data flooded his display. Thousands of files. He carved through the architecture, searching for Compound V research. Found it buried under 17 false directories. Deliberately chaotic structure. But Miguel was angry, enhanced, and running algorithms that wouldn't exist for decades. The first file opened. 1979 laboratory footage. Grainy security camera. Scientists injecting blue liquid into restrained infant. The baby screamed, convulsed, died. They brought another baby. Miguel's jaw clenched. In Nueva York, Alchemax had done this. Called it research, progress, acceptable losses. "You get in this?" MM asked. "They've been dosing infants since the 70s. Mortality rate approximately 63%. Every 3 babies dosed, 2 die. Survivors become soupies. Static silence. Then Butcher's voice. Cold. Download everything, every file, every video, every memo from every executive who signed off. Miguel's fingers moved. Terabytes crawling through transfer. 4 minutes remaining in security window. Download showed 6. We have a problem, Miguel said. Improvise, Butcher said. Miguel's vision scanned, running scenarios. Abort with partial data or stay and risk exposure. In Nueva York, survival over truth. But Nueva York hadn't shown him babies dying while executives approved quarterly budgets. He pulled up secondary terminal. Started typing. Implementing delayed extraction. Data continues downloading after I'm gone, routing through Vought's own backup protocols. They'll upload their evidence to our servers without knowing. That's brilliant, said. That's Alchemax training. They taught me to steal. I got creative. Movement. Enhanced hearing caught it. 2 heartbeats, military footsteps, radio chatter about unauthorized access. Security coming. Miguel fired, webbing upward, yanking into the shaft as the door burst open. Guards entered, scanning for intruders already gone. Miguel moved through ductwork, camouflage engaged. I'm blown, Miguel said. Heading to extraction, Beta. Negative, said. Beta's compromised. Teams flooding primary exits. Go up. Up where? Executive level. Floor 93. Fewer guards, more ego. Miguel climbed through vertical shaft, enhanced strength making it irrelevant. Below, alarms screamed. Boots running, radio shouting, someone demanding lockdown. Floor 93 smelled like expensive cologne and cheap morality. Miguel emerged into hallway decorated with awards, magazine covers, framed 7 photos. His suit identified the end office. Madeline Stillwell, Senior VP of Hero Management. Dark, empty. Miguel's vision picked out details, 2 perfect family photos, 2 numerous awards, and a logged-in computer. I'm in Stillwell's office, Miguel said. You're fucking where? Butcher's voice spiked. Her computer's active, accessing now. Miguel's fingers moved. Stillwell's security was laughable. Arrogance made people sloppy. Found her email in seconds, started reading, started understanding, meticulous emails. Correspondence with Stan Edgar about asset management. Controlled escalation scenarios. Which cities needed hero intervention for approval ratings. Schedules for manufactured threats. One stopped Miguel cold. Homelander psychological profile update. Clinical, detached, terrifying. Homelander's degradation charted over 5 years, increasing narcissism, decreasing impulse control. Stillwell's assessment, subject controllable through maternal transference and ego reinforcement. However, recent patterns suggest potential cascade failure if approval drops below 85%. Recommend continued relationship maintenance and careful narrative management. Miguel downloaded everything, every memo treating humans like products and cities like markets. Homelander's a ticking bomb, Miguel said quietly. And Vought knows it. They're managing his breakdown like a PR problem. Get out, said. Security's sweeping your floor. Miguel moved to the window. 93 floors up. Webbing could handle descent, but would be visible. Every camera would catch him. His sensors caught helicopter approach, police markings, spotlight, sweeping, boxing him in. Miguel opened the window. Wind hit at 93 stories. Below, the city sprawled like circuit board of light and corporate control. Vought logos on buildings, 7 merchandise in windows, Homelander's face on billboards, smiling that perfect smile. I'm going loud, Miguel said. Don't, warned. Miguel jumped. Fall was mathematical. Webbing fired, catching ledge. He swung into Manhattan Canyon with every camera catching footage that would trend in minutes. Behind him, Spotlight found him. Locked on. Followed. Miguel smiled inside his mask, tasting adrenaline and fury and satisfaction of stealing corporate secrets from the untouchable. In Nueva York, he'd learned to fight Alchemax. Here, Vought was the same monster wearing different flag. The difference was Butcher. People who decided burning it down was worth the cost. Data's secure, Frenchie's voice crackled. Delayed upload working. We're receiving everything. Miguel swung deeper into the city, leaving Vought Tower blazing with alarms. Somewhere in those files was ammunition. Somewhere in Stillwell's emails was truth about manufactured heroism. And somewhere in this nightmare city, Homelander was watching news, seeing footage of the spider who'd scratched him, feeling his carefully managed psychology crack a little more. The brownstone smelled like gun oil and desperation. Miguel sat on duct-taped couch while Frenchie's laptops processed the Vought data dump. Butcher paced like caged animal with cigarette addiction. Cleaned a disassembled Glock with methodical precision. Huey stared at baby footage with eyes reconsidering every life choice. 73% download complete, Frenchie announced. The delayed extraction, she is working beautiful. Vaught's server spitting out their sins. Miguel's enhanced hearing caught footsteps on stairs. Light, deliberate. The door opened and Starlight walked in, wearing civilian clothes that made her look more vulnerable than her costume ever did. Jesus Christ, she said, staring at monitors. Those are babies, actual babies. Welcome to Vought International, Butcher said, where every hero origin starts with dead children and liability waivers. You bring what I asked. Annie pulled a thumb drive from her pocket with shaking hands. Security footage from Vought Tower. Last 3 months. Everything they keep off official servers. She looked at Miguel. You're the one who made Homelander bleed. I've been on the 7 for 2 years and never seen anyone make him bleed. He bleeds easy, Miguel said. He's just surrounded by people too afraid or bought to try. Annie sat hard on protesting chair. I joined the 7 to help people, be a hero, but every rescue is staged. Every threat manufactured. Last week I saved a bus from a terrorist attack. Turns out Vought hired him, paid $50,000 to hold a bus hostage so I could boost approval ratings before contract negotiations. The children were real, though? Huey asked quietly. Yeah, real children. Vought just didn't tell them the danger was fake. Annie's hands clenched. I asked Madeline about it. She said that's how business works. Authentic fear makes better footage. Miguel's jaw tightened. Alchemax had staged industrial accidents to test equipment they'd sell to government. He'd stopped 3 before learning he was part of marketing. How many heroes know? Most don't care, Annie said. The Deep's too insecure to question anything giving him camera time. A-Train's too focused on staying relevant. Black Noir doesn't talk, ever. Something genuinely wrong with him, and Homelander. She stopped, fear and Stockholm Syndrome flickering across her face. Homelander's a narcissistic sociopath, Butcher finished. He's worse. He hears everything. Everything. I've seen him quote conversations from 3 floors away. And he's deteriorating. 2 months ago, he accidentally killed a civilian during rescue. Crushed her spine, lifting her wrong. Madeline had the family paid off and body cremated before coroner arrived. Homelander didn't even notice, more concerned about whether cameras caught his good side. The room went silent except for keyboards and distant Brooklyn. Miguel processed the information. Homelander wasn't just dangerous. He was unstable weapon in deteriorating containment. Vought's solution was better PR. The footage I brought, Annie continued, it's Homelander's private moments. Cameras he doesn't know about. Madeline keeps them for insurance. Control, footage of him threatening staff, assaulting people, practicing his smile in mirrors while watching videos of himself. It's not human. He ain't human, Butcher said. He's a product. Compound V made him. Vought programmed him. America bought him. Now the product's defective and manufacturers managing recall without admitting liability. Miguel stood, walked to monitors displaying baby trials. His enhanced vision picked out details. Lab coats with Vought logos, executives observing with clinical detachment. In one frame, something made his intellect spike with recognition. Freeze that, Miguel said, pointing. Top right, the equipment. Frenchie complied. Image froze on medical apparatus. Specific configuration, specific design, specific corporate branding that shouldn't exist in 1979. That's Alchemax medical equipment, Miguel said quietly. Everyone stared. That's impossible, Mem said. Alchemax isn't a real company. In your dimension, maybe not yet. In mine, Alchemax is the largest corporate conglomerate in North America. Pharmaceuticals, weapons, genetic research. They pioneered the enhancement that gave me these. Miguel extended talons. And apparently, they were working with Vought 40 years ago, which means this isn't cross-dimensional contamination. This is multiversal corporate conspiracy. Implications hit like tactical strike. If Alchemax and Vought shared technology, shared research, shared willingness to dose babies for profit, then Miguel's dimensional collapse wasn't escape. It was transfer between franchises of the same evil. Mon Dieu, Frenchie whispered. Your corporation and their corporation, they are sister companies. I spent 10 years fighting Alchemax in Nueva York. Learned they'd infiltrated every level of government. Decided to die, stopping them. Miguel's voice hardened and fell through dimensions into a world where they'd already won. Butcher's grin was sharp. Then you know how to kill them. I know how to hurt them. I know their operational patterns, security protocols, corporate psychology. Companies like this don't collapse from external pressure. They collapse from internal contradiction. You don't fight them with bombs. You fight them with their own greed. Explain, said, setting down the Glock. Miguel pointed at monitors. Vought's power comes from public perception. The 7 are brands. Homelander is flagship product, but brands are fragile. They live and die by consumer confidence. Right now, public thinks Homelander is hero. We have footage proving he's monster. Documents proving Vought creates threats he stops. Evidence they've killed babies for 80 years. We don't need to kill Homelander. We need to kill the lie. You want to run PR campaign, Butcher said, flatly. Against the largest media conglomerate, while they've got superhumans hunting you. I want information war. Alchemax taught me. Corporate monsters only work when people believe corporate mythology. Break the mythology, monster starves. Miguel's mind built strategy matrices. Vought controls traditional media. They don't control social media. Independent journalism. The truth distributed faster than they can suppress. Annie leaned forward. You want to leak everything, all at once. Not flood, precision strike. We release baby trials first, establish Vaught's willingness to kill for profit. Then manufactured threats, prove the 7 are fake. Then Homelander's private footage, show the world who he really is. Build narrative momentum, each leak validates the previous. By the time Vaught's PR mobilizes, truth is trending and denials look like lies. And when Homelander comes for us, Huey asked. Because he will. You scratched him and he lost his mind. You destroy his image, he'll level this building. Miguel's talons extended. Then we make sure he does it on camera. Make sure the world watches their hero murder people exposing him. Either way, mythology dies. The room absorbed the plan. Suicide dressed as strategy. Martyrdom with media component. Exactly the desperate gambit people with nothing left committed to knowing they wouldn't survive. I'm in, Annie said. I've been complicit for 2 years. Time to stop being part of the problem. Way, Frenchie agreed. Though I note this plan has perhaps 30% success and 90% chance of death. 70%, Miguel corrected. If we do it right. EM looked at Butcher, who stared at monitors weighing revenge against survival, rage against strategy, his dead wife against living people who trusted him. All right, Butcher finally said. We do Spider Bloke's plan, but when it goes pear-shaped, and it will, we've got contingencies, explosives, nerve gas, whatever it takes. He looked at Miguel. And if Homelander comes through that door, you better web his face before he lasers everyone I care about. Deal. Miguel extended his hand. Butcher took it. The handshake felt like signing contract in blood with someone who'd decided dying for the cause was acceptable overhead. Deal, Miguel said. Let's kill a god's reputation and see if the god survives losing his worshipper. The leak went live at 3:47 a.m., the dead hour when insomniac scrolling met algorithmic momentum. Frenchie distributed files across 47 platforms simultaneously. Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, independent news sites, conspiracy forums. The baby trials footage hit first with clinical timestamp and Vought logo watermarked. No editorial, no context. Just 60 seconds of infants dying in corporate laboratories while suits took notes. Miguel watched the internet catch fire. His enhanced vision tracked engagement metrics scrolling faster than human eyes could process. Views climbing exponentially. Within 12 minutes, Torser Vought baby trials was trending #1 globally. Mother of God, Frenchie whispered, maintaining upload momentum. 40 million views in 15 minutes. The algorithm loves controversy more than cat videos. Butcher stood smoking, watching numbers like religious experience. We just kicked the hornet's nest with sledgehammer made of their crimes. How long until Vought responds? They're already responding, Miguel said, intercepting Vought communications. Emergency conference calls, legal teams mobilizing, PR scrambling. They're trying copyright claims and terms violations. Can they succeed? MM asked, loading magazines. Not fast enough. Miguel parsed data streams. Digital information doesn't die. It metastasizes. Every takedown generates 10 mirrors. Every suppression validates authenticity. Their own legal infrastructure weaponizes against them. Annie paced, looking like someone watching their worldview collapse. My phone's exploding, everyone demanding I make statements supporting Vought. They want me on morning shows calling it deepfake propaganda. What are you going to do? Huey asked. Annie pulled out her phone, started typing, I've been a member of the Seven for 2 years. I've been lied to for 2 years. That footage is real. I'm done being complicit. Vought baby trials. The Seven lied to me. She hit send. Comments erupted. Half brave, half traitor, all engaged, sharing, amplifying. Jesus Christ, Annie, MM said. You just painted a target. I've had a target since I joined the Seven, Annie said, voice steadier than hands. Difference is now I'm shooting back. Miguel's suit alerted to electromagnetic spike. Enhanced hearing caught it. Something moving faster than commercial aviation, trajectory locked on their location. Incoming. Fast mover, aerial approach, heat signature off charts. Butcher's hand went to detonator. Dead man's switch connected to enough C4 to level the building. Homelander? Signature matches. Miguel moved toward window, talons extending. He's not subtle, straight line approach. He wants us to know. The window exploded inward. Homelander crashed through with laser eyes blazing, cape billowing, face twisted into rage. Eyes locked onto Miguel with hatred reserved for personal violations. You, Homelander said, voice shaking. You uploaded that footage. You hacked Vought, Tower. You scratched my face and made me bleed, and now you're destroying everything I've built with lies and deepfakes and... Miguel webbed his mouth shut. Organic silk sealed across Homelander's lips mid-rant. Homelander's eyes went wide, genuine confusion that someone interrupted him. His hands tore at webbing, super strength ripping through bonds. Those aren't deep fakes, Miguel said calmly. Those are Vaught's own security archives, authenticated, time-stamped, backed up across 47 servers in 19 countries. You want to call them lies? Explain why Vaught's copyright striking their own footage. Homelander ripped the webbing free, voice dropping cold. I don't need to explain anything. I'm Homelander. I'm America's hero. I'm... A product, Miguel interrupted. Manufactured by Compound V, programmed by corporate handlers, sold to consumers who don't know they're buying fascism wrapped in flag. I've seen your psychological profiles. Madeline Stillwell's emails about managing your narcissistic degradation like quarterly revenue problem. You're not hero. You're weapon that forgot it was owned. Something flickered across Homelander's face. Recognition or rage at being understood. Laser eyes flared and Butcher moved with detonator raised. One more step and I blow this building, Butcher said. Absolute conviction. C4 in walls, floor, ceiling, enough to vaporize everyone. You might survive, but you'll do it on camera, explaining why you murdered people, exposing Vaught's crimes. How's that gonna play on morning news? Homelander's eyes tracked from Butcher to Miguel to Annie with phone raised, recording. Her whispered narration. Homelander just broke into private residence, threatened civilians, demonstrating exactly the violent instability leaked footage suggests. She was live streaming. 43 million followers watching their hero hovering in Brooklyn brownstone with charging laser eyes, surrounded by terrified humans looking every inch the unstable weapon leaked documents described. Real-time validation of every accusation. Homelander's face cycled through expressions: rage, confusion, calculation, desperate need for approval, meeting reality's refusal. PR training screaming, psychological conditioning demanding he maintain image. Deteriorating impulse control, wanting to laser everyone. You're recording this, Homelander said, looking at Annie with betrayal. I'm documenting this, Annie corrected. There's a difference. Documentation is journalism. America deserves to know who their heroes really are. I've saved thousands of people. Homelander's voice climbed toward hysteria. I've stopped terrorists, prevented disasters, protected this country from threats Vought manufactured. Miguel said, we have the emails, the schedules, payments to terrorists who are contractors hired to create photo opportunities. You didn't save those people from danger. You saved them from Vought's marketing department. Homelander's hands clenched. Jaw worked, eyes blazed and dimmed and blazed like faulty wiring. Competing directives colliding, maintain image versus eliminate threat versus secure approval versus express rage versus... He flew backward out the window. Tactical repositioning. Homelander hovered 50 feet from building, silhouetted against pre-dawn Brooklyn, surrounded by news helicopters that materialized like vultures. Every camera locked on him, every lens capturing his expression, confusion, rage, desperation for adoration, meeting audience asking questions. This isn't over, Homelander said, voice carrying with supernatural clarity. You want war? I'm war. I'm every nightmare you've had with laser eyes and cape. Miguel fired webbing at nearest helicopter camera, creating spider web pattern across the lens. Not blocking, framing, creating visual metaphor every editor would use. Spider-themed vigilante, literally putting web across Homelander's image. You're a brand, Miguel called back. And brands die when consumers stop buying. How many people canceling Vought Plus subscriptions right now? How many kids throwing away Homelander action figures? How many people realizing their hero is just another corporate lie? Homelander's laser eyes fired. Not at Miguel, at helicopter cameras. Beams cutting through news equipment, destroying evidence, eliminating documentation, which every surviving camera captured, which every live stream recorded. Homelander attacking free press on live television while suppressing evidence. The optics were catastrophic. Miguel watched the hero spiral, understanding what he'd done. This world's corporate fascism had vulnerability Nueva York's lacked. It needed to be loved. Homelander needed worship. Vought needed consumer confidence. And Miguel had weaponized their desperate hunger by showing what happened when you scratched manufactured heroism's surface. You found monsters doing market research. Homelander fled into dawn, leaving destroyed helicopters and Brooklyn brownstone full of people who'd survived because killing them on camera was worse for ratings. Annie lowered her phone, hands shaking. He was going to kill us. He wanted to. The only thing that stopped him was cameras. The only thing that ever stops him is cameras, Butcher said, lowering detonator. Welcome to fighting gods with social media and spite. Miguel tracked news coverage, watching narrative momentum build. Baby trials established Vought as morally bankrupt. Annie's defection validated insider testimony. Homelander's attack confirmed violent instability. Footage of him destroying press cameras circulated with hashtags about fascism. They had built evidence pyramid where each layer supported the next. Vought's PR couldn't attack without validating. Homelander couldn't suppress without proving. The Seven couldn't deny without their own member contradicting. Corporate mythology dying in real time, measured in trending hashtags and falling stock prices. Phase 1 complete, Miguel said. We've established Vought kills babies and manufactures threats. Phase 2, we show them Homelander's private footage. Show the world who he is when cameras aren't rolling. And Phase 3, MM asked. Miguel's talons retracted. Enhanced vision tracked dawn breaking over Brooklyn, over Manhattan, over city that had worshipped corporate heroes and was learning to ask questions. Phase 3 is we wait for Homelander to break, and we make sure everyone's watching when he does. Vought Tower burned with metaphorical fire by noon. Miguel watched from a rooftop 6 blocks away, his enhanced vision tracking chaos through windows, executives running, phones screaming, stock ticker displays showing freefall. The second leak had dropped at 9 a.m., Homelander's private footage. 90 minutes of unfiltered sociopathy from Madeline Stillwell's insurance file. Homelander mocking burn victims, threatening to laser children because his latte was wrong, practicing his smile while masturbating to footage of himself, crying about people not loving him enough, then threatening to kill everyone who'd criticized him online. The internet had found its villain. Homelander is a monster was trending. News outlets scrambling to rewrite narratives. Politicians issuing statements about investigations. The corporate machinery sustaining superhero fascism was eating itself. Stocks down 43%, Frenchie reported through comms. Vought losing 1.7 billion per hour. Board calling emergency meetings. Madeline Stillwell hasn't been seen since footage dropped. She's in hiding, Miguel said. Realized being Homelander's handler makes her liability when handler's crimes go public. The 7 are fracturing, Annie cut in. A-Train posted statement condemning Vaught's historical practices. Deep's agent said he's entering treatment. Black Noir's social media got scrubbed. What about Homelander? MM asked. Silence. Then Annie, quieter. No one's seen him since Brooklyn. Official statement says taking personal time. Unofficially? Security thinks he's in his apartment. Won't answer door. Won't respond to comms. Madeline used to be the only one who could talk him down. Without her. Electromagnetic signature in Vought Tower spiked. Miguel's sensors screamed as massive energy discharge erupted from upper floors. Laser vision fired repeatedly, cutting through walls, furniture, structural supports. The sound carried across 6 blocks. He's breaking, Miguel said, in his apartment, tearing it apart. Can he bring down the tower? Butcher asked. Structurally. Maybe. Psychologically. He already has. Homelander's entire identity was public adoration, his psychological stability maintained through worship. Miguel had systematically dismantled every supporting structure. The laser fire stopped. Miguel's enhanced hearing picked up something worse. Silence. Predator calculating revenge. Then Homelander's voice. Broadcast across every speaker in Vought Tower, every screen in Times Square, every device connected to Vaught's emergency system. You want to see a monster? I'll show you a monster. I've saved you, protected you, bled for you, and you repay me with lies, with turning my city against me? I could kill everyone in New York before breakfast. I could level this entire city, and no one could stop me. Not the military, not the government. The only reason you're alive is because I allow it. Because I'm better than you. The broadcast cut off. Emergency. Someone at Vought killed the feed. But 30 seconds of unfiltered megalomania had circulated to every phone in the city. Miguel had heard speeches like that before. From Alchemax, executives backed into corners who decided scorched earth was acceptable exit. It always ended the same. Violence. He's going to kill someone, Annie said, voice tight. Not because he needs to, because he wants everyone to know he can. Reassert dominance. Then we make sure he picks the right target, Miguel said. The hell does that mean? Butcher demanded. It means we give him what he wants. A target. Someone who's destroyed his image. Someone he can kill in front of cameras to prove he's still good. Miguel's talons extended. It means I'm going to Times Square, and I'm making sure Homelander follows. That's suicide, MM said flatly. That's martyrdom with tactical application. Miguel was already moving, web swinging toward Manhattan's bright center. If Homelander kills me in public, he proves everything we've leaked. Confirms violent instability. The Seven dies with me. And if you actually die, Huey asked, then I die proving corporate fascism is just fascism with better marketing. Upload everything after. Make sure everyone knows the hero killed the truth teller. You've got a martyr complex the size of Manhattan, Butcher said, almost respectful. I can work with that. We'll have cameras everywhere. When you die famous. When Homelander kills you, he dies politically. Miguel swung through glass and steel canyons, his suit broadcasting location on every frequency Vought monitored, making himself target. In Nueva York, he'd learned sometimes the only way to kill monsters was letting them come close enough to expose themselves. Times Square materialized. Corporate heart of corporate city, every screen showing news of Vaught's collapse. Miguel landed center, surrounded by scrambling tourists, phones rising like digital forest of witnesses. He disabled camouflage. Let everyone see. Let every camera track the spider-themed vigilante standing in the most photographed intersection in the world. I'm here, Homelander, Miguel shouted. You want to prove you're still God? Here's your chance. Come kill the spider who made you bleed. Show everyone what happens when someone tells truth about Vought. Silence stretched, phones recorded, news helicopters vectored, and Miguel stood in manufactured heroism's corpse, waiting for the broken god. His enhanced hearing caught it. Distinctive sound of Homelander's flight, faster than usual, controls sacrificed for speed. The hero burst from Vought Tower like missile with cape, trajectory locked with mathematical precision, face twisted into pure rage. Homelander crashed into Times Square doing Mach 2, crater forming under impact, screens shattering from sonic boom. He stood 20 feet away, costume torn, hair disheveled, eyes blazing red. This wasn't billboard Homelander. This was the thing Vought manufactured and barely controlled, exposed to sunlight at judgment. You ruined me, Homelander said, voice shaking. Everything I built, everything I was, you took it with lies and edited footage, and the footage was real. Miguel interrupted. The babies were real. Your threats were real. I didn't ruin you. I showed everyone who you already were. Homelander's laser vision fired. Miguel dodged left, enhanced reflexes slowing the world. Laser beams carved through space he'd occupied, punched through building. Tourists screamed. Cameras caught everything. Homelander attacking in Times Square. Missing, looking mortal. Stand still, Homelander screamed, flying forward with raised fist. Miguel webbed his eyes. Organic silk covering Homelander's vision. The hero's punch went wild, hit pavement, created crater. His hands clawed at webbing, super strength tearing through but giving Miguel seconds. Seconds to web Homelander's feet to ground. To fire silk across his chest, binding him. To prove power without precision was just rage with volume. Every move calculated, every dodge photogenic. Miguel was fighting for cameras, making Homelander look chaotic, desperate, beatable. Making the god bleed again, metaphorically, publicly. Homelander tore free, roaring, laser eyes cutting through everything, advertisements, buildings, corporate infrastructure that sustained him. Attacks grew wilder, collateral damage mounting. Every camera captured it. "I'm Homelander," he screamed at sky, at cameras, at Miguel dodging between attacks. "I'm America's hero. I'm everything you wished you could be. You can't beat me. I'm broken," Miguel said, dodging another laser. "You're broken, and you can't handle people seeing the cracks." Homelander's face cycled through rage, grief, desperation. Laser eyes charged for killing shot. This was it, the moment Miguel engineered, the broken god committing murder on camera. Final proof that manufactured heroism was just violence with PR. Miguel didn't dodge. Then starlight crashed between them, golden light blazing, absorbing Homelander's laser vision with photokinetic powers. Beams bent around her, redirected skyward, harmless. She stood between them, costume torn, face set with determination from choosing truth over comfort. "It's over, Homelander," Annie said. "Look around, look at cameras, look at everyone watching. You kill him, you prove everything he said. You let him live, you prove you still have control. Either way, old Homelander's dead. Question is whether a new one's a murderer or someone who can still choose to be human." Homelander stared at her, at Annie, at Starlight, at the 1-7 member who'd sided with truth. His laser eyes dimmed, flared, dimmed again. The calculation playing across his face was almost human. He flew away, straight up, disappearing into sky while Times Square burned with his tantrum and cameras captured everything. Miguel stood in wreckage, breathing hard, understanding he'd just survived something he'd planned to die doing. Hadn't accounted for Annie's intervention, for someone choosing to save him when tactical calculus said his death served the cause better. "Why?" Miguel asked. "Because martyrs make inspiring footage," Annie said, golden light fading. "But witnesses make better testimony. And we're not done yet." The Congressional hearing room smelled like fear disguised as procedure. Miguel watched from the gallery. No costume, no mask, just civilian clothes. Below, Madeline Stillwell sat at witness table wearing expensive suit, an expression suggesting extensive lawyer coaching. Behind her, Vought's legal team formed wall of corporate defense. Senator Caldwell shuffled papers with shaking hands. "Ms. Stillwell, for the record, you served as Senior Vice President of Hero Management at Vought International for how long?" 11 years, Senator." Madeline's voice was calm, controlled, every syllable calculated. "And in those 11 years, were you aware of Vaught's Compound V trials conducted on infants?" "I was not directly involved in research and development. My role focused on hero management and public relations." "That's not what I asked." Senator Rodriguez leaned forward. "Were you aware? Yes or no?" Madeline's pause lasted exactly 1 second. "I became aware of historical programs when leaked documents surfaced. Prior to that, I had no direct knowledge." "Bullshit," the gallery gasped. Rodriguez didn't care. "We have emails. Your emails. Discussions of acceptable mortality rates in Compound V distribution. Strategies for suppressing families of failed trials. You personally approved $47 million to silence parents whose babies died in Vought labs." Miguel's enhanced hearing caught Madeline's heartbeat spike. Caught micro-expression, rage hidden under professional mask. Cornered. And cornered corporate executives always chose same strategy. Deny everything. Sacrifice whoever necessary. Those payments, Madeline said carefully, were made in consultation with legal counsel to avoid protracted litigation harmful to grieving families. By giving them money to shut up about Vought murdering their children, Rodriguez's voice carried across chamber. That's not grief counseling. That's witness tampering with a budget. Miguel forced his talons retracted. This wasn't Nueva York where he could web corporate criminals. This was legislative theater, slow, procedural, designed to look like justice while protecting power. But theater had audiences. This performance was broadcast on every network, watched by millions learning their heroes were corporate products. What about manufactured threats? Caldwell tried regaining control. Leaked documents suggest Vought hired individuals to stage terrorist attacks for 7 publicity opportunities. Those allegations are selectively edited communications taken out of context. We have video footage. Rodriguez pulled out tablet. Security footage from Vought Tower, 6 months ago. You, Stan Edgar, 3 mercenaries. Audio is clear. You're discussing payment for escalation scenarios in target demographics. Edgar mentions ensuring authentic civilian response for better media coverage. How's that out of context? Madeline's mask cracked. Just slightly. Just enough for cameras. That meeting was regarding hypothetical emergency response protocols. There's 40 minutes of footage. You discuss specific cities, specific targets, specific soups to deploy for maximum publicity. You laugh about how authentic trauma polls better than staged emotion. You suggest increasing civilian casualties because survivor testimonials drive merchandise sales. Rodriguez's voice dropped cold. You weaponized human suffering for quarterly earnings, and you're claiming it's out of context? Chamber went silent. Miguel watched Madeline's lawyers, frantically conferring. Watched Vought's stock price, displayed on chamber monitors because Congress loved drama, drop another 6 points. Watched corporate evil meet public accountability. I invoke my 5th Amendment right against self-incrimination, Madeline said. The gallery exploded, senators shouting, reporters typing, cameras catching everything. Miguel's hearing picked up whispered conversations, unprecedented, catastrophic. Vought was finished. Miguel slipped out while chaos reigned. His suit was hidden but ready. He'd learned in Nueva York that justice rarely happened in courtrooms. Real justice happened in alleys, rooftops, dark spaces where corporate monsters thought they were safe. His enhanced hearing caught conversation before he reached exit. 2 voices, familiar from stolen audio files. Stan Edgar and Ashley Barrett, Vought's CEO and PR director, standing in Capitol hallway having conversation they thought was private. Don't care what it takes, Edgar was saying. Stillwell's expendable. Let the government have her. Meanwhile, we're restructuring. New branding, new heroes. Distance ourselves from the 7 completely. Homelander's a lost asset. Psychological profile suggests complete breakdown within 6 months. We cut losses, rebuild with controllable products. What about the spider? Ashley asked, voice shaking. Tried everything except what works. Edgar's voice dropped. Homelander wants him dead. Fine, we leak the spider's location, make it look accidental. Homelander kills him on camera. We spin it as tragic overreaction from traumatized hero, use it to justify Homelander's retirement. Homelander dies trying. Even better, problem solves itself. Miguel's intellect processed instantly. They were sacrificing both him and Homelander. Clean house, rebuild from ashes, Exactly what Alchemax had done 3 times in Nueva York. Burn current operation, reboot with new branding, continue same evil with fresh marketing. Not this time. Miguel's phone was already recording, already uploading to Frenchie's servers, already distributing to every journalist, senator, news outlet. Stan Edgar's voice describing Homelander as lost asset and Miguel as acceptable collateral. Vought's CEO planning to sacrifice his own hero. The audio would be trending in minutes, would be evidence in expanded hearings, would be final nail in corporate coffin already sinking. Miguel walked past Edgar and Ashley, close enough to catch heartbeats, far enough they didn't register his presence. Just another Capitol visitor. Outside, DC sprawled under late afternoon sun. Miguel's suit detected surveillance, drones, probably Vaught's, tracking his movements. They'd know where he was going, would feed location to Homelander, would stage final confrontation they planned to control. Perfect. Miguel texted Butcher single word. Ready. Response came immediately. Cameras positioned, every angle, every exit. Whatever happens, world watches. That was the difference. In Nueva York, Alchemax controlled narrative through information suppression. Here, Vought lived in digital age, where truth moved faster than corporate PR, where cameras were everywhere, where witnesses had platforms. Miguel had learned to fight corporate monsters by becoming harder to kill than they could afford to acknowledge. This world taught him something better. Make the monsters kill you publicly. Make their violence so visible, so documented, so undeniable that even bought politicians had to respond. His enhanced hearing caught it miles away. Distinctive sound of Homelander's flight, vectoring on his position with mathematical precision. They'd leaked his location already. Desperate, good. Desperate made people sloppy. He walked toward National Mall, toward open space surrounded by monuments, toward cameras and tourists and witnesses, toward stage where manufactured heroism would complete its death, or Miguel would die proving it deserved to. Either way, truth was already uploaded, already trending, already immortal in ways corporate money couldn't suppress. Behind him, Homelander's approach grew louder. Ahead, Butcher's cameras waited. Around him, capital of American power continued procedures, unaware the real trial was about to happen on its lawn. Miguel O'Hara smiled, tasted adrenaline, and prepared to either survive or become the most expensive martyr Vought never wanted. Nueva York taught him to fight alone. This New York taught him to fight with witnesses. The difference would either save him or make his death mean something beyond personal revenge. His money was on witnesses. The Washington Monument cast long shadows across the National Mall as Homelander descended like wrath wrapped in stars and stripes. Miguel stood in the open, no camouflage, no cover, just exposed grass and monuments. Tourists scattered. Security shouted into radios. News helicopters materialized like flies drawn to spectacle. Homelander landed 50 feet away, cracking pavement. His costume was pristine. Someone at Vought had cleaned him up, tried to make him look heroic for what they assumed would be righteous execution. But his eyes gave him away. Red-rimmed, bloodshot. Eyes of someone who hadn't slept in days watching his identity dissolve on social media. No clever exit this time, Homelander said. Voice carrying with superhuman projection. No webbing away, no hiding behind cameras, just you and me. Let's see how brave you are when there's nowhere to run. Miguel's enhanced vision catalogued 17 news cameras, 43 phones, 12 Vought drones, all recording. Butcher's team had positioned additional equipment in surrounding buildings, every angle covered. This wasn't fight. This was broadcast. "I'm not running," Miguel said. "I'm waiting for you to prove everything I said, for you to show millions watching that under the costume. You're just a monster who can't handle being questioned." Homelander's jaw clenched, hands curled into fists. Miguel's sensors tracked micro-expressions, rage warring with training, impulse fighting conditioning, corporate programming screaming to maintain image. But narcissistic injury was louder. "You destroyed me," Homelander whispered, words amplified by every microphone. "I saved this country, protected people, and you made them hate me, made them see me as what you are," Miguel finished. "A weapon Vought created, a product manufactured from dead babies and corporate ambition. I didn't destroy you. I just took away the PR department that hid what you've always been." Homelander screamed. Pure rage vocalized at volume that shattered nearby windows. Laser eyes blazed, and Miguel was moving. Webline fired at Lincoln Memorial, yanking sideways as twin beams carved through space he'd occupied. The beams hit the Washington Monument, cut through stone like tissue. Alarms screamed. Structure groaned. Every camera caught Homelander attacking National Monument while trying to kill someone who'd exposed corporate corruption. The optics were apocalyptic. Miguel swung through air, organic webbing carrying him in arcs, choreographed for maximum photogenic effect. Every dodge calculated, every movement designed to make Homelander look uncontrolled, violent, dangerous. This was performance art, where medium was superhuman brutality and message was, "Your heroes are lies." "Stand still!" Homelander flew after him, cape billowing. "Fight me like a man." "I'm not a man," Miguel said, landing on Memorial steps. "I'm a genetically enhanced corporate refugee from a dimension where people like you already won. And I learned something. Gods only have power when people worship them. Stop worshiping, and gods become what they've always been, powerful, dangerous, and utterly mortal in every way that matters." Homelander crashed into Memorial, fist aimed at Miguel's head with pulverizing force. Miguel dodged, talons raking across Homelander's arm, not deep, just enough to draw blood. Just enough to prove the gods still bled. Homelander's scream echoed across D.C. He grabbed Miguel by throat, lifted him off ground, eyes blazing red. "I'm done playing, done with your speeches, done with you making me look weak. I'm Homelander. I'm everything this country wishes it could be, and you're just someone who told the truth," Miguel choked out, hands wrapped around Homelander's wrist, talons digging uselessly. "And you can't kill the truth. Even if you kill me, the files are out. The footage is everywhere. The world knows. Strangling me on camera just proves them right." Homelander's grip tightened. Miguel's enhanced healing struggled, crushed trachea, grinding vertebrae, tunneling vision. This was it. The martyrdom he'd engineered, death that would cement everything. Butcher's cameras catching every angle, the world watching their hero murder the truth-teller. Perfect. Then Annie's voice cut through. "Let him go." Starlight stood 20 feet away, costume torn, face set with determination, golden light blazing with intensity, suggesting she'd absorbed electrical energy from every power source in D.C. Behind her, Huey, MMM, Butcher, Frenchie, the boys, armed, ready. Probably going to die, but showing up anyway. "This doesn't concern you, Annie," Homelander said, not releasing Miguel's throat. "This is between me and the spider. He destroyed everything. He has to." "He showed the world who you really are," Annie interrupted, light intensifying. "The rest of us just chose to stop lying about it. That's not his crime. That's yours. For being the monster. For letting Vought turn you into weapon. For caring more about worship than actually helping people." Homelander's eyes tracked from Annie to the boys, to cameras, to Miguel dangling from his grip. The calculation playing across his face was almost human. Kill Miguel and prove every accusation, or let him live and admit defeat. Miguel's vision was dimming, oxygen deprivation making consciousness theoretical, but his intellect was still processing, still calculating that Homelander's choice would define everything. And then Homelander's expression changed. Not to rage, to something worse. Resignation. The look of someone who'd realized the game was lost. He released Miguel. Miguel dropped, gasping, accelerated healing already repairing crushed tissue. He looked up at Homelander hovering, cape perfect, costume pristine, face showing absolute defeat wrapped in corporate branding. "You win," Homelander said quietly, words carrying to every microphone. "You got what you wanted. Made me the villain. Made everyone hate me. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted people to see me and feel safe, and you took that from me." "I took the lie," Miguel corrected, voice ragged. "The love you got was for someone who didn't exist. For corporate fiction. Maybe now you can figure out who you actually are when you're not performing for cameras." Homelander stared at him, then at Annie, then at cameras. His expression cycled through emotions. Rage, grief, confusion, desperate need for guidance that wasn't coming. The corporate programming sustaining him was gone. The handlers managing his psychology faced prosecution. The worship validating his existence had turned to fear. He was finally, terribly free, and had no idea what to do with it. "I'm leaving," Homelander said. "Not running, not hiding, just leaving. This city, this country, all of it. You want heroes? Make your own. I'm done being Vaught's product. Done being America's." He looked at Miguel. "Done being what you proved I was." He flew away. Not dramatic exit, not explosive escape, just straight up into clouds, disappearing while every camera tracked his retreat. The most watched superhero in the world flying away from spotlight he'd craved, chasing nothing except distance from judgment. Miguel stood slowly, healing finishing, surrounded by the boys and starlight and cameras and witnesses who just watched corporate fascism's flagship product choose exile over extermination. "That went better than expected," Butcher said, lowering rifle. Was genuinely planning to nerve gas him. Had whole martyrdom package ready. "He chose differently," Miguel said, watching sky where Homelander vanished. "He chose to walk away from the lie. That's not nothing. That's a traumatized weapon with godlike powers, loose without handlers," corrected. "Problem for later." "Later works," Miguel said. His suit intercepted news broadcasts already spinning the confrontation. Homelander's retreat. Miguel's survival. The moment America's greatest hero admitted defeat and fled. Narrative momentum was unstoppable. Vaught's stock would crater. The Seven would dissolve. Congressional investigations would expand. Corporate superheroism was dying on live television. Annie approached, golden light fading. "What happens now? To you? To all of this?" Miguel looked at her, at Starlight, at the hero who'd chosen truth over comfort. Now I go back to being Ghost. Let you and the others rebuild what Vought destroyed. Maybe try to find a way home. Maybe accept this is home now. Or, Butcher offered, lighting cigarette, you could help us hunt supes who don't retire gracefully. Corporate superheroism's dying, but plenty of individual-powered psychopaths are still out there. Could use someone with your particular talents. Miguel's talons extended, retracted, extended again. In Nueva York, he'd fought alone because trusting people meant vulnerability. Here, he'd learned witnesses were weapons, that truth needed platforms, that sometimes corporate monsters required teams to topple. I'll think about it, Miguel said, which everyone correctly interpreted as yes. Because dimensional displacement was lonely, and fighting monsters alone was Nueva York's strategy. This New York had taught him something better: fight with witnesses, allies, people willing to stand in crossfire and record everything. The cameras kept rolling, the news kept broadcasting, and somewhere in sky, Homelander flew toward uncertain future, while below, the corporate machine he'd sustained finally collapsed under its own corrupted weight. 6 months later, Miguel O'Hara stood on Brooklyn rooftop watching the city that tried to kill him learn to breathe without corporate heroes. The skyline looked different. Vought Tower's top 20 floors were dark, sealed by federal investigation teams. Times Square's advertisements had changed. Fewer capes, more accountability. Billboards that once featured the Seven now displayed public service announcements about reporting soup violence and hotlines for Compound V victims seeking legal recourse. His suit's sensors tracked the city's electromagnetic signature. Quieter now. Fewer drones, less surveillance. Vaught's digital panopticon had collapsed with its corporate structure. "You're brooding again." Annie's voice came through calm. Says you've been on that rooftop for 3 hours. That's either reconnaissance or depression." "Reconnaissance," Miguel lied, watching teenagers below spray painting over faded Homelander mural, replacing his face with something abstract. "How's the hearing?" "Catastrophically for Vought, therapeutically for everyone else." Annie's voice carried satisfaction. "Stan Edgar just got 47 years federal prison. Madeline Stillwell took plea deal, 22 years plus full cooperation. Ashley Barrett's testifying about cover-ups. Entire corporate structure being dismantled piece by piece." Miguel's enhanced hearing picked up sirens 3 blocks over. Not panicked screaming of Vought-era emergencies, but routine response. Fire truck, ambulance, police. Actual emergency services doing their jobs without waiting for heroes to pose first. The city was learning to save itself. "Any word on Homelander?" Miguel asked. "Sightings in remote locations. Alaska, Siberia, somewhere in Amazon. Always alone, always avoiding population centers. Like he's trying to figure out who he is when no one's watching. Butcher's got surveillance, but we're leaving him alone unless he threatens civilians." "He won't," Miguel said with more certainty than he felt. "He needs worship like oxygen. Without it, he's just lost, trying to find purpose beyond performance." "You sound almost sympathetic." "I sound like someone who understands what corporate programming does to identity." Miguel's talons extended reflexively, then retracted. "Alchemax owned my DNA before I could consent. Vought did the same to Homelander, just with better marketing. Difference is I had rage to fuel rebellion. He just had need for love." His suit alerted to approaching signature. Familiar, non-hostile. Huey materialized from rooftop access, carrying takeout that smelled like Thai food. "MM sent provisions," Huey said, setting down bags. Said you've been up here long enough to qualify as residential real estate. Also, Frenchie wants to know if your suit can integrate with his new surveillance network. Miguel accepted food with nod. In Nueva York, he'd eaten alone. Here, the boys taught him sharing meals was intelligence gathering disguised as caring. Tell, Frenchie, yes, but I want firewall protocols. Last time I let him access my systems, he installed Tetris in my heads-up display. He thought you needed stress relief. I need functional tactical overlays, not falling blocks during combat. Huey sat on ledge, legs dangling over 70-foot drop. 6 months ago, he'd been traumatized civilian. Now he was field operative with body armor and competence born from watching heroes fail. Can I ask you something about Nueva York? Miguel's vision tracked Huey's micro-expressions, genuine curiosity. Ask. You spent 10 years fighting Alchemax. Then you fell through dimensions into a world with same problem, different branding. That's cosmic level unfair. Do you ever regret not just staying out of it? Miguel considered while consuming pad thai with enhanced metabolism requiring twice normal calories. He chose honesty. Every day, Miguel said. Every time I fight Super, who became monster because no one taught them responsibility. Every time I watch news of victims seeking justice through courts that move slower than continental drift. Every time I remember I could have found quiet corner and lived anonymous life without crusade. But, Huey prompted, but I've seen what happens when people stay out of it. In Nueva York, Alchemax won because everyone thought someone else would fight them. By the time people realized the heroes were bought or broken, the corporation owned everything. Miguel set down empty container. I can't unknow what I know. Can't unsee what corporate fascism looks like. And apparently I'm psychologically incapable of watching it happen without doing something stupid and dangerous. That's not stupid, Huey said. That's being unable to look away when people need help. It's both. Stupidity and heroism are often same action viewed from different angles. Below, teenagers finished their mural. The abstract design resolved into web pattern, not merchandising but symbol of interconnection, of catching people when systems failed. One kid spray-painted words, no more heroes, just people trying. Miguel's vision caught the detail, processed the sentiment. 6 months of dismantling corporate superheroism, and the city was learning new vocabulary. Not heroes and villains. Just people. Some enhanced, some not, all trying to survive systems designed to exploit them. MM wants you for briefing in an hour, Huey said, standing. 3 soups, former Vought assets who didn't get the memo about accountability, running protection racket in Queens. A-Train agreed to consult since he's trying the redemption angle. Could use someone with your tactical experience. A-Train. Miguel's voice carried skepticism. The same A-Train who tried to arrest me 6 months ago. The same A-Train who testified against Vought, entered therapy, and is now trying to figure out how to be super without corporate handler. He's annoying, insecure, desperately needs validation, but he showed up when we needed intel on soup physiology. That counts for something. Miguel stood, his suit's holographic emitters running pre-mission diagnostics. In Nueva York, redemption was concept for people with luxury of clean slates. Here, he'd learned people could choose to be better even after being complicit. The transformation wasn't always pretty, rarely complete, but sometimes genuine. Tell MM I'll be there, Miguel said, And tell A-Train if he tries any corporate loyalty bullshit. I'm webbing him to a subway train." Huey grinned. He'll appreciate the clear boundaries. They walked to roof access together. The city sprawled below, damaged, healing, learning to function without manufactured heroes. Not perfect, not clean, but honest in ways it hadn't been when Homelander's smile sold energy drinks. Miguel's suit pinged with notification. News alert. Federal judge approved class action lawsuit from Compound V victims. Estimated settlement, $4.7 billion from Vought's seized assets. Thousands of families would receive compensation for children who died in trials, for lives destroyed by unwanted enhancements. It wasn't justice. Numbers couldn't resurrect dead babies. But it was accountability, acknowledgement, the slow machinery of legal consequence catching up to corporate monsters who'd thought themselves immune. Annie's voice crackled. "Miguel, you seeing this? The settlement?" "Seeing it," Miguel confirmed. "We did that. You, me, the boys. Everyone who refused to look away. We made that happen." Miguel considered arguing. The lawyers did legal work. Victims did surviving. Whistleblowers did testifying. But Annie was right in the way that mattered. They'd created conditions where accountability became possible, where truth moved faster than corporate suppression. "Yeah," Miguel said. "We did that." His suit's navigation plotted route to MM's briefing location. 3 rogue soups in Queens. Protection racket, probably armed. Definitely dangerous. Exactly the kind of mission that would have gotten him killed in Nueva York, where he worked alone. Here, he had team, had backup, had people who'd proven they'd stand in crossfire and document everything if he fell. It wasn't the dimension he'd chosen, wasn't the crusade he'd planned, but it was the fight he'd found, and the allies he'd earned, and the city he'd helped free from corporate heroism's suffocating embrace. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, dimensional refugee, corporate monster hunter. Webb swung into Brooklyn afternoon, heading toward Queens and whatever fresh hell awaited. Behind him, the teenager's mural dried in autumn sun. No more heroes, just people trying. Good enough, Miguel thought. Good enough. Miguel O'Hara never found his way back to Nueva York. The dimensional rift that tore him from corporate dystopia and dropped him into corporate nightmare. Different branding, same corruption, never reopened. Frenchie spent months analyzing the quantum signatures embedded in Miguel's suit, building theoretical models, consulting physicists who thought multiverse theory was academic exercise rather than lived experience. Every calculation pointed to the same conclusion. The doorway home had collapsed the moment Miguel fell through it. He stopped asking Frenchie for updates after the 4th month, stopped checking the equations, stopped hoping that dimensional displacement was temporary inconvenience rather than permanent exile. Nueva York was gone. His brother, his few remaining contact, the crusade against Alchemax that had defined his adult life, all of it existed in dimension he could no longer reach. The grief was specific and absolute. Not death, which offered finality, but separation across space that didn't connect, time that didn't align, reality that had moved on without him. But this New York, this dimension where corporate fascism wore capes and called itself heroism, had given him something Nueva York never could. Witnesses, allies, people who stood in crossfire not because they were enhanced or programmed, but because they'd chosen to fight monsters despite having every reason to run. The cultural shift took time. Vought's collapse didn't instantly cure society's addiction to manufactured heroism. There were protests from people who missed the Seven, who called the investigations witch hunts, who insisted Homelander was framed by deep state conspiracies. Cable news spent months debating whether exposing Compound 5 trials was whistleblowing or treason. Politicians who'd taken Vought donations claimed ignorance while their approval ratings tanked. But the teenagers painting murals got it. The victims filing lawsuits got it. The emergency responders who'd spent years waiting for clearance while people burned got it. The parents who'd lost children to Compound 5 trials and been paid to stay silent got it. The mythology was dead. What remained was complicated, messy reality where some people had powers and some didn't. And the existence of abilities didn't automatically confer heroism any more than wealth conferred wisdom. Starlight became the face of reformed superheroism, not branded, not corporate-owned, just Annie January, using her powers to help people while being transparent about the cost. She testified at 17 congressional hearings, wrote memoir that became instant bestseller, and established foundation for Compound V victims that operated with radical financial transparency. Her approval ratings fluctuated between 47% and 63%, not the manufactured 90% vote had maintained through propaganda, but genuine public trust built on accountability. A-Train never fully rehabilitated his image. He tried, went to therapy, made public apologies, consulted at the Boys on Soup Physiology for tactical operations, but he'd killed people. Accidentally, carelessly, because he'd cared more about camera time than collateral damage, and apologies couldn't resurrect the dead. He worked community service in Queens under court supervision, using his speed for emergency response. Not hero, just person with abilities trying to do less harm than he'd done before. The Deep disappeared into marine conservation somewhere off New Zealand coast. Black Noir's identity was revealed during trials. Brain-damaged super who'd been so traumatized by Vought's conditioning that he'd functionally become their perfect weapon. Silent, obedient, incapable of questioning orders. He was institutionalized, receiving psychiatric care from specialists who understood superhuman psychology. Whether he'd ever recover enough to stand trial remained question for future courts. Homelander's fate stayed uncertain. Sightings placed him in increasingly remote locations, Arctic research stations, abandoned Antarctic bases, deep jungle settlements so isolated they didn't have internet. Every report suggested the same pattern. He'd arrive, help with some local emergency, refuse payment or thanks, and disappear before anyone could properly document his presence. Not redemption, not heroism. Just broken God trying to figure out who he was when no one was watching, when no cameras captured his smile, when worship wasn't available to validate his existence. Miguel wondered sometimes if Homelander would eventually return, psychologically stable or completely shattered, seeking redemption or revenge. Butcher maintained surveillance network, tracking the sightings, preparing for either outcome. Kept contingency plans updated, combat protocols, evacuation procedures, nerve gas dispersal systems hidden in major cities as insurance policy against superhuman threats. We're living in a world where gods walk among us, had said during strategy meeting. Some of those gods are trying to be better. Some are broken, some are waiting for excuse to break. We plan for all of it, hope for the best, and prepare to document the worst. Documentation. That was the lesson this dimension taught Miguel. In Nueva York, he'd fought alone in shadows, trusting that exposing Alchemax's crimes would naturally lead to justice. Here, he'd learned that exposure was just first step. Truth needed witnesses, accountability needed documentation, change needed people willing to stand in front of cameras and testify, knowing their faces would be public, their lives threatened, their peace destroyed. Annie did it. Huey did it. Frenchie, Butcher, all of them testified again and again, each hearing adding another piece to mosaic of accountability that eventually became too comprehensive for corporate lawyers to dismantle. Miguel testified once, early in the trials. Refused to show his face, holographic distortion hiding his features, voice modulated to protect identity, but spoke for 40 minutes about Alchemax, about Nueva York, about recognizing Vought's equipment in their baby trial footage, about seeing the same corporate evil in 2 dimensions and understanding that this wasn't coincidence. It was pattern. It was system. It was ideology that transcended individual companies and infected entire civilizations if left unchecked. His testimony got dismissed by Vought's lawyers as science fiction. The judge allowed it anyway, noting that whether Miguel's dimensional origin was literal or metaphorical, his analysis of corporate structure and methodology was disturbingly accurate. The phrase became meme. Disturbingly accurate trended for weeks. Miguel's holographically obscured face became icon, not hero, but witness, not savior, but survivor willing to testify. He still patrolled, still hunted rogue supes who'd missed the memo that corporate protection was gone and accountability was here. Still webbed criminals to lampposts and disappeared before police arrived, because some habits from Nueva York were too ingrained to break. But now, he did it with team, with backup, with people monitoring police scanners and news feeds, ready to deploy cameras if things went wrong, ready to testify if Miguel needed witnesses. The city learned his silhouette, spider-themed vigilante swinging through Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, wherever the boys needed enhanced operative who could move through 3 dimensions and web swing faster than police could respond. He was never officially part of law enforcement, never registered as super, never complied with the oversight legislation that passed in aftermath of Vought's collapse. But he also never killed, never caused collateral damage he could avoid, never left civilians injured or traumatized by his interventions. The police complained about vigilante justice. The public generally approved of results. The compromise was uncomfortable, procedurally questionable, and absolutely characteristic of society trying to figure out how superhumans fit into civilization that had learned to distrust them. On quiet nights, Miguel still climbed to Brooklyn rooftops and stared at stars. Wondered if somewhere in infinite multiverse, another Miguel O'Hara was having similar thoughts. Wondered if Nueva York still existed, if his brother was still fighting Alchemax, if the corporate dictatorship he'd fled was as absolute as he'd feared, or if rebellions he'd started had momentum. Wondered if he'd ever know. "You're brooding again." Annie's voice would inevitably interrupt through comm. Or Huey would show up with takeout. Or Butcher would call about rogue soup situation requiring immediate attention. Or would request tactical analysis of some emerging threat. The loneliness of dimensional exile never fully disappeared, but it became manageable, shared, diluted by people who'd proven they were willing to fight monsters alongside him, even when the monsters could level buildings. Miguel O'Hara never got his dimension back, never found his way home, never resolved his crusade against Alchemax or learned if his brother survived or got closure on the life he'd lost. But he got something else, something Nueva York's isolation never offered. He got team, got allies, got family assembled from traumatized civilians and reformed soupies and one very angry British man with explosives and vendetta. Got a different kind of home. Not replacement, not substitute, just different. And some nights, when the patrol was quiet and the city breathed easy and the boys were safe in their respective locations, Miguel decided different was enough. The teenager's mural in Brooklyn said it best. No more heroes, just people trying. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, dimensional refugee, corporate monster hunter, occasional brooder on rooftops, was trying. In a dimension that wasn't his, fighting a crusade he hadn't chosen, alongside people he'd learned to trust despite every instinct screaming isolation was safer. And somehow, against all probability and personal preference, he was succeeding. Not perfectly, not cleanly, not without cost, but enough. It was enough. The multiverse never sleeps. More crossovers await.